Welcome to The Person Everyone Needs. I'm Webb Hoggard, and we are in episode 78 right now. I'm so excited. If you've been listening along with us, thank you so much for taking this journey with us, and just know it means the world to me that, and I'll say this, if any of this has been encouraging to you, I would love to hear about it. I would love to know what content was most helpful or what series you appreciated the most, because we're looking for new direction every single week. And right now, today I have just a brief talk on the importance of friends. I joked with my wife. I was like, I'm exhausted. I don't, it's been, she said, well, I think, 10 straight 16-hour days usually does make for an exhausted person. And so she was like, if we miss a week, it's fine. But I don't have that same mentality. If I've started it, I want to continue it. So I've wasted a minute of my podcast just telling you about where my mind space is right now. But I want to tell you today about the importance of friends. One of the things that has happened over the last few weeks is we've had camp meeting in our town. And, at camp meeting, you get to see all these people that, you don't get to see regularly throughout the year. I have so many circles now as the Lord continues to increase influence in my circles of life. I'm gaining friends more and more every day. And what I'm realizing more and more as I get these friends, how blessed I am to have any of them, how thankful I am to be loved by them. But I guess the other thing I'll say is that how important it is to have some friends that go deep instead of wide. Those friends that know what you need. They care about what you think. They know when you need a break. They know when you need help. They know how to help when they need it. Those people who have taken the time to really build a relationship with you is something that's pretty life-changing. I've been watching this TV show recently, and there was an episode where a person was, on the show. They were making a documentary, as a part of the thing or whatever. And they're following this guy that they said was a genius. And the whole time they're following him, he keeps trying to explain his genius. And the person doing the documentary finally said, you know what, I'm done, because I want to follow this other group because they actually listen to people. A lot of times we want to have a special skill that would make everybody so impressed. We want to make our worth based on how useful we are. And a lot of times what people are actually looking for is not so much for your usefulness, but your closeness. People want you to see them. They want you to care. They want you to love on them. They want you to recognize the things that matter to them. They want you to be there when they need somebody. They want you to be close on the days that matter and on the days that hurt and the days that are victories for them. People that are rooting for you, people that will make a touch and text on the regular or phone call on the regular or come see you on the regular because they just care that you exist. That's what people are craving for in this life. You would think that with things like Facebook, people would be full on those things. But the truth is, the more accessible our information, the lack of attention we're actually giving one another. We might be passively seeing what's happening in someone else's life, and we might be able to say the next time we see them, I saw that you went this place, I saw that you did this thing or whatever. So passively, we're getting to know the information about one another, but we're not really getting to know one another. I was mentioning camp meeting. We had that this past week, and one of the blessings of camp meeting is that after the church services are over, we go and eat in the canteen, which is what we call it. It's just a place where we go and eat cheeseburgers and hot dogs, and then you get to catch up with people. You get to see what's going on in their life. You get to see those who have lost loved ones this past year and tell them that you've been praying for them. You get to see people who have added babies to their family and tell them how cute they are and how excited you are for them. That's what life really is. Life is people, friendships, closeness, noticing, intimacy, attention, eye to eye, face to face. As much as we love things like FaceTime and Zoom, nothing is as close as being across the same table from one another. I'm sitting here drinking my coffee with you, and I would love to be able to sit across the table and drink a cup of coffee with you and hear your story. And I think your story is very important. When I get around people now, I try really hard to ask them about their story. Tell me about what makes you who you are. Tell me what's about you that has been very important to your heart these days. some things, sometimes there are seasons of our life that circumstances we have been in the past, they come a little bit louder because of a circumstance we find ourselves in now. I love finding out those stories about people. One of the gentlemen I spoke to this past week, he made a comment to me that, since his wife passed away this past year, he's been really lonely. And of course, I mean, that's not, no one was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, of course, he's lost his wife. And so, he's feeling lonely. So I would sit there and speak with him and talk to him and tell him how much I love him and I care about him and I'm thinking of him and praying for him that, he won't feel abandoned and all that kind of thing. And just reminding him that the Lord is always near and that I'll try to do my best to be close to him as well. People just we keep thinking of touches and we keep trying to find systems that will help people feel seen. And Facebook is one of those systems that we want people to feel seen. The truth is they want your attention. So, Webb, what do you do about that? Like, there are 8.5 billion people on the earth. Are you telling me I've got to be friends with every single one of them? Absolutely not. I will say that the more friends you get, the more rich your life is. I think it was Dick Foth who once said, 2 valuable things in life are relationships and money. And only one of those will make you rich, and it ain't money. People really are the part of your life that makes it rich, whether it be family or friends, acquaintances, job, like networking within your job. As I come to bringing this thing to a close, I want to just bring a couple things to mind. First of all of us have friends that we have lost, that perhaps they have walked away from you, your close proximity in life, or perhaps they have died. Some of them that they no longer want to be your friend. And that's a hard part. And we can often keep our mind on what we've lost and not enjoy what we have. My favorite coffee mug right now is one from the Top Gun Maverick movie, and it says on the side, "Talk to me, Goose." And I think about, for 30 or 40 years, it seems like this Maverick in Top Gun, he's just got his mind on his best friend that he lost. And I can't imagine how heartbreaking that loss was. I'm not making small of that in any way. But to think, like, what it would be for me to be able to talk to my granddaddy, my papa, my granddaddy. What would it be for me to talk to Eric Baggett? Eric was a young man that when I was associate pastor years ago, he passed away in a car accident. And what I would do to speak to so many of my friends who are in glory or have moved far away, and I would just love to sit across the table from them and drink some coffee and play a card game or something like that. And when we don't get to have that, let's not spend our days remunerating on those that are no longer with us. Talk to me, Goose. Let's not do that. But what can we do to help connect to those that are near? So I want to tell you the things that I think would help the most. First of all, the first thing you should do is ask questions. If you want somebody to fall in love with you, be curious about them. I find so many people, they don't even know how to ask questions. Anytime they actually have a question, they put it in a statement as like some level of accusation. And people who are not mature enough, they will jump on that. But really often we're just asking questions, but we don't know how to even ask questions. So my encouragement to you is learn how to get curious. Ask questions of other people. Ask them about their life. Ask them where they're from. Ask them about their family. Ask them about childhood memories. Ask them about favorite ball teams or favorite books, or find things about them. I pelt people with questions because I love to get to know who they are at their core. And then the second thing I would say is tell stories. Don't talk about logistics and data and things that you have learned and knowledge, and don't even talk about the books that you've read. Talk about the stories that have impacted you. For myself, I remember when my dad told me the Boy Who Cried Wolf story, and it is a great impact. To this day, one of the highest things in my life is honesty, because I don't want to be the boy who cried wolf. And so I'll never forget that story, and it means a lot to me. If you have a story that's impacted you like that, maybe it's a Bible story or person in the Bible, I encourage you to tell that story. Tell a story about a person that meant a lot to you. The third thing that I would say if you're trying to build friends or build a connection with them is understand that it all comes down to time. Relationships equal time. And no matter who it is, The amount of time you spend with that person, you will build a relationship on it. Time with is never time wasted. And so if you are in your life and you're not feeling like it's very valuable, I can promise you there's probably a people problem. And so the three things that would encourage you to have the relationships that you're looking for is, number one, ask questions. Number two, tell stories. And number three, spend time. Take time to spend with people. And I know your life will be richer because of it. Because my life is abundantly rich because I'm surrounded by so many people who have poured into me, love on me, and spend time with me. I'm so very thankful for each of them. And this whole podcast really comes down to that people who are friends, they are the people that everyone needs.